accommodate the meeting. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving right along. And I hope that gives everybody some food for thought, because like Jack and Jill, I had barely heard anything about the issue, and the more I hear about it, the more concerned I am. And thank you for the additional points that were brought up during the presentation. Okay, and here at the suggestion from Pete Polstad, thank you, we're poaching presentations from the Neighborhoods Commission. PG&E gave a presentation on their gas safety program, and they were kind enough to consent to be here tonight. So welcome.
Hi. I didn't bring a computer, but I do have presentations to hand out that we can follow.
You can pass them
You
on.
want me to
We'll take that.
you want me to stand or?
Yes,
Liz
yes,
I can stand here. I can stand here. That works. So, my name is Darren Klein. I'm with PG&E. I have to say, as I was watching that presentation, my wife is from Alabama. I know Aliceville pretty well, and I know about the oil train. That happened in, it was November of 2013, and the spill was not a good thing. It's taken them months to clean it up. Well, it'll be over a year now, and it's really hurt the Tombigbee River, which is one of the places that I've been with my family. And I know that as a lot of these folks do this kind of work, we have to be very responsible with our infrastructure. And that's really what the oil trains are about. That's really what I want to take my time tonight to talk about. And that is when it comes to our community and the pipelines that are running through our community, and be able to let you know that we as a company, PG&E, we are trying to get out there and tell people what's going on with the pipelines. We want them to know. We find that roughly when we talk to private property owners, 60% don't know that they have a transmission pipeline in their backyard. We want to change that. People need to know what's going on. If you have oil trains coming through your neighborhood, you need to know that. And we want to be responsible and say to you, if you've got transmission pipelines or distribution lines, we want you to know that, and we want to partner with you and collaborate with you to help keep our community safe. So tonight, with this presentation, what I would like to do, I would like to talk about what our gas system is, what the work that is that we're doing, and what we're doing to build a safer and modern gas system. I want to make sure you guys understand that we want to work with the community. There is some work that's been going on for the last 3 to 4 years that I'm going to touch on. There's also work that we want to continue to do to keep our pipelines safe. And then, kind of partnerships and outreach that we're doing to help keep everything informed. And what we want to do on a regular basis as we go forward. This is not the Community Pipeline Safety Program. This is not like a big P program this is what we want to do on an ongoing basis and make sure that we have a dialogue with you as we move forward. So with that being said, I wanted to take a moment and just let you know what our gas system is, because there's a lot of folks that don't really get what we're doing. And the first most important thing is 90% of our gas, natural gas, does not come from California. So what we have to do to bring that gas in, a lot of our gas comes from Texas and Mexico. So what we do is we've built a system that can handle bringing gas in from out of the state and then distributing that to your home. So we have transmission lines and we have distribution lines. We have about 6,750 miles of transmission lines. Those are big, large pipes, high pressure system, and that is the kind of pipe that we're talking about when we talk about the San Bruno incident. Okay. Distribution systems, smaller volumes of gas, they move stuff at lower pressures, so it's totally different. So when you look at slide 4 here, when we talk about the gas system, you'll see that we've got, this is a transmission pipe up here, and this is a distribution pipe right here. And they're different systems, okay? The transmission pipeline is anywhere from 2 inches to 42 inches. It is made of steel, and it has pressures that are 60 pounds per square inch and higher, all the way up to 900 pounds per square inch. We need that amount of pressure to be able to move gas through the pipe and to be able to service our systems and all of the other stuff. That is pipe, and it can only be steel, okay? Then we have distribution pipelines that are anywhere from 2 to 24 inches. The pressure is lower than 60 PSI. It is different. It is a different kind of pipe. We use mostly plastic piping, so it doesn't corrode. Steel piping corrodes. That's a big problem, right? But on the distribution pipeline, we just want to be clear in your neighborhoods. There are different rules that go around that than what happens with transmission. And tonight, I want to really focus on transmission because that is the place where we have to be responsible with our infrastructure and be extremely safe, because that is high pressure pipe that can result in a lot of bad things. So for us, we are here to let you know we are creating the safest and most reliable gas transmission system. We have spent and plan to spend by the end of 2017 roughly $3 billion on safety. And what we've been doing in San Jose is we've been doing hydrostatic pressure testing. You may have seen some of us, we go in and we'll take a section of pipe, we'll dig into the pipe, we'll run water through it at pressures that are twice the 900 PSI, if not higher, to make sure that that pipe can handle the pressure that we're going to put in when it comes to gas. We have internal pipe inspection robots, okay? We refer to them as pigs. My daughter loves them. There's what they are. They're little computers that you run through the pipe and they squeal as they go down the pipe, okay? We call them pigs. My daughter thinks it's funny. We've put in valve automation so that we can shut off sections of the valves. And what we've done is you go to San Ramon on the 5th floor, we have, runs 24/7, we've got people that watch our pipeline 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Anything goes wrong, pressure changes, etc. We have automatic valves that can shut things off at a moment's notice. We can start to clear pipes and take care of the pipe. We do leak surveys. We do leak surveys once a year at least. And what you'll notice, and I want you as you're driving around, we walk the line. We make sure that well, this is what I want you to watch for. You know the Google cars driving around? Okay, you're going to see some that are PG&E blue. Those are called Picaro cars. They look just like the Google cars. And what they do is they sniff out methane, any source of methane, and we can figure out if that methane is coming from our pipe. And we can figure out if it's 1, 2, 3, or 4, what level of leak that is. Since we have been doing, and then we have helicopters that fly over, and it's got the same sniffers on them. And we are constantly flying our transmission pipe. We do that to make sure that people aren't putting things on top of the pipe. We're also doing that because it's construction season, and thanks to drought, it seems like construction is going on all the time. So we fly over our pipe a couple times a month, and this is the transmission pipe, to make sure that people aren't putting anything over it, seeing if we can tell if there's any gas leaks. And we've reduced gas leaks in the last 4 years by 99%. We have gotten that good at figuring this out. So I did want to share with you on slide 7 the progress that we've had in San Jose. And you can see from this map the transmission pipeline that goes through your neighborhood. And there's approximately 100 miles of gas transmission pipeline in San Jose. And like I said, we've been doing the valve automation, pipeline replacement. In the 3rd district, you'll see we have portions of line 300A and 300B. There's a couple distribution feeder mains off of that. And we've done strength testing, we've put in automated valves, and we've done a little bit of replacement, if you can see that color right there. But this is everything that we're trying to do to ensure that the transmission line is safe in your neighborhood. Now, as we've been doing this program, we've noticed a few things. One of those things is we've not done a great job in what people have been putting over the pipe. And we are in the middle of a program that is spending about $500 million to make sure that on our transmission line, we don't have things over the pipe. We have learned as we put this program together, it's about a $500 million program, and I also want you to know it's shareholder funded. This is not ratepayers. We have not been the most responsible that we can be, and we're trying to figure out how we can balance safety and our neighborhoods as we come through and we look at this pipe differently. Times do change. We've been looking at this pipe differently, and we feel that there's other things that we can do to be more responsible and better. So what's happening right now is, as we've been looking at this, and this is slide 8, we are starting to find issues with, some people have put structures over the pipeline. Some people have put pools over the pipeline. We have gone in and made sure that if there's anybody that's put a house or a pool over a pipeline, that pool has been taken out or that house has been moved, okay? And we've done that. That's our first one priority. We're now looking at it and we're seeing that there is vegetation, bushes, trees, etc., that we see in our community because people don't realize that there's a pipeline there. You know, as we've done our centerline surveys and we've remarked our pipe and everything, we see the issues with firefighters and safety crews not being able to have quick and easy access to the pipe in case of emergency. We found that by us keeping the pipe properly maintained and keeping clear rights of way, that people start to realize there's a pipeline there and they can help us if they smell gas or anything like that. When you have a lot of vegetation over a pipe and people smell gas, they start to think, well, there's no way there's a pipeline there, right? So we have that as part of our consideration. And we have found that tree roots do damage to our pipe by exposing it to corrosion. These are steel.
They do, or they
Says
do
do
not.
not damage.
Right here it says do
No,
not.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, well, this one is my fault. But when you read the top sentence here, it does kind of make sense. It's been misleading. We're checking the area above the pipeline to ensure that tree roots do not damage the underground pipe by exposing it to corrosion, which is very confusing. I would love to blame somebody besides myself for that, because I did that in the original one. I'm sorry, guys.
When you put it, that makes sense now.
Yeah, no, so, and we are finding, as you look at slide 9, these are tree roots that are actually from our area. Tree roots have grown around this pipeline, and when they grow around and you have a windstorm, it wrenches the pipe and rips the pipe open. We also, when roots grow towards the pipeline, they make impressions on our cathodic protection, and that starts a corrosion process with the pipe. When you have steel pipes, and if we could do plastic pipe for everything, we would. Unfortunately, for these large transmission lines, like I said earlier, we have to use steel. Steel does have some condensation, so a lot of tree roots will try to grow towards the pipe because they want that condensation. And we, you know, what we have found is that is not a good thing. I do want to let you know that the cathodic protection that we have on these pipes, we do test that every other month. We go out and check that on all 6,750 miles of our pipe. So we make sure the cathodic protection, because of the issues that we have with things growing towards the pipe. So we do check that on a bi-monthly basis, but these are the kind of things that we are worried about. So as we are looking at things in our community, we have decided that it was time for us to reach out. And as we look at slide 10, you know, we have been working with the community, local firefighters and safety crews. We are reaching out to neighborhood associations, which is, I presented last Wednesday. We are talking with community leaders. We are meeting with everybody we can meet with so they know that we have transmission pipeline that goes through San Jose. This is how we can all work together to be responsible with that pipe, and we want people to have an understanding of what that means. We want people to know that as we go through, if we see that there are threats to our community because of what's going on with the pipe, if there is a tree that needs to be replaced, we will replace it. We do it at our cost, not the ratepayer cost. we want, if a tree is manageable next to that pipeline, we're gonna work with the community and keep that tree there. We're gonna do everything we can, because we know with trees, you know, it's where I put a swing for my daughter. There's a lot of emotional attachment, but we also know that if we had to come through and somebody said, you're knocking down all these trees down the street, that changes the neighborhood overnight. And we're not about that. We're about sitting down with the neighborhood and saying, this, we'll take this managed shared risk. We'll sit with the fire department and everybody else and say, you know, what can we do here to keep this place whole? And start growing trees in other places. And, you know, and as we ensure that our pipeline is the safest in the nation, you know, if we need to make some changes with where transmission pipeline goes through this community, we will consider that in the future. Right now, we have just that immediate threat that we are trying to address. Yes, ma'am.
A quick question, thank you for your sensitivity about the trees. My question relates to pools or structures that are built on top of the pipeline. I mean, given that hopefully the homeowner would have gotten a permit for that, is there some way to let the planning department know that these transmission lines are there? And
yes,
that the
and we
permit should
did.
be...
A lot of the pools that we found, there are 3 pools in Ripon. Were they permitted? Were they not permitted? It's really debatable. And that's why we did a centerline survey of our pipe about 3-4 years ago, so that we have that precise location. We also, when we meet with cities, so for example, I met with Lodi last week. Lodi was in the process of widening the road, and as they were ripping up the road, they made sure to give us all of where exactly our pipeline is. Thanks to cathodic protection, we can use GPS surveying, and we do know where our pipeline is. And we can be extremely accurate with that. And so when this program first started, we went after what we call them P1s, priority one. I know, that's not what we said, what we call it. The priority ones were anybody that was in a habitable structure, pools, et cetera. We made sure that they were moved and they were out of the way. That resulted in us being able to talk to the cities and say, you know, as they go through the permitting process, we are constantly flying over that line. So even if somebody permits it by accident, we have somebody flying over the line that can say, oh wait, somebody's clearing something down there, what's going on with construction? That goes back into our operations, and we contact the city and start looking at permits and stuff like that. That's everything we're doing to try to cover that.
Thank you.
So with that being said, you know, we're reaching out to customers in the community, and we want to make sure, you know, as we all work together, you know, to help everyone realize we have this pipeline, keep this pipeline safe. We all want to work together. So any concerns that you have, please contact us. We have met with your city council member, and I'm really reluctant to pronounce the name because I can't roll my R's.
Okay.
That's him right there.
Yes. Yes? Okay, Rob, okay. I'm sorry, I got worried. So we've had those meetings. We are meeting with the city right now. There are some concerns with some trees. We don't have a lot of concerns with structures in San Jose. So we're meeting with the city right now to talk about what we think we should do and how we should move forward. We are not coming in here, guys, to say we're ripping out these trees tomorrow. That's not what this is about. What this is about is making sure that our pipeline, and I say our community's pipeline is safe, it gets the stuff that you need, that we are being responsible with this infrastructure, and that we can all work together to get the results that we want. We are not an oil company. We are folks that are here to stay. Yes, sir.
On page 7, could you clarify where those lines run? Because I can't read what it says. The 300A and 300B.
Okay.
Yeah, I printed this off of the website today.
It's a little zoomed in.
Just downtown, yeah.
Basically, those run along 680.
Yes.
They essentially run along 680. You can go on our website And there is a Google Earth that you can go and run the lines. You can also go to the National Transportation Safety Board. They also have our lines there. Yes, sir.
I was going to suggest talking to Google and having them add that as a topography option on their site.
Yeah, due to national security, they cannot add that to Google. The lines are somewhat perfect when you look at the ones on our website and with the National Transportation Safety Board, but anything that you see, it's a little off because of national safety concerns, which I think you guys can understand.
Okay, so we have Tina and then Richard.
I'm sorry, Tina.
So, back to my question, as far as the oil trains are concerned that are in close proximity to transmission lines, do you guys have a plan for how that's going to be addressed? And has PG&E come out against the oil trains to say, you know, if something happens, this would not be a good thing?
I don't know if the company has a position or anything like that. I can find that out for you, and we can follow up with you on the oil trains.
Okay. And then what about the safety plan for?
So we have a safety plan. That is what the Community Gas Safety Initiative is about, is that we
No,
are...
I mean specific to, in the event of an oil train rupture.
In the event of an oil train rupture?
Yes.
I can't speak to oil trains.
I don't think we've run a
We
scenario
have not.
specific to an oil train rupture, but
Yeah.
I can tell you we do meet with the public, the police department, fire department, to run scenarios for other first responder things. We meet with them. They have a whole public safety department that coordinates with them on a regular
I mean,
basis.
to let you know, the CPUC requires that we meet face-to-face with every fire department once a year to go over all of the things that affect our infrastructure and safety with that. Because who we are, we meet with them twice a year. We try to be twice as good. We go through all of that stuff. We provide maps, both printed and over the internet, so that when a first responder is responding to anything that involves our pipeline, they have maps in the truck when they pull up. We do trainings for them, not only for them how to pull up those maps, but also how to make the area safe so that we can also bring our engineers in and fix that pipe as quickly as possible. When it comes to us and safety and what we do with the pipeline, we have found that the most effective thing is education, and the more we can put hands-on with them, that's what we do. So we get in front of them as much as we can.
Thank you. Okay, I think we have time for one more question. Richard, you have
Yeah,
your
I'm looking
agenda?
at this map here, and I see the pipeline runs down Keys and 10th Street, which runs through my neighborhood. Now, does that pipeline go under the trees I planted, or does it go down the middle of the street? Have you run lanes over that?
Yeah,
Or
that's what we've been looking at. We are trying to ensure that we have a 10-foot clear area, 5 foot on either side of the pipe, and then we look at the kind of vegetation that's within another 5 feet outside of that. For me to speak specifically to that down that street, it is probably down one of the lanes of the street. And right now, we're making sure that there isn't anything over the pipeline that we feel would make that
It
pipeline
would be under the
safe.
Park Strip, it'd be down the street.
It most likely would be down the street. Now, it may, I can't guarantee that. But I do want you to know that, you know, we know that right now, through our tests on cathodic protection and stuff like that, that the pipeline is safe underneath. We are looking at these vegetal encroachments right now as to kind of future threats to our pipeline.
So has this area been checked?
Yes.
for-
Oh, yeah. We have had, we've had people walk this line, we've had people fly over this line, but with the vegetal problems that we've seen in a few areas, we've actually physically had somebody walk that line, not once, but twice, and writing down each tree. And we are now in a process of going through and saying, how big is that tree? How big is the tree gonna get? And putting that into a large computer algorithm so that we can figure out what is a threat and what isn't.
Just to confirm, so notices haven't been made to anybody that if a tree may be in front of their property, you haven't gotten to that stage yet, correct?
No, we've not. We've been met with the city, and we've met with every single city council member, and we have told them that this is the work that we've done. We've done the work that we know will make the pipe safest, quickest. That's what we've been doing for the last 3 years. We've been able to set up a program where we are now adding enhancements to that, and that is us now dealing with
Wonderful. Well, I'd like to thank you very much and just ask a favor, if perhaps you or Liz could leave a business card or two in case questions come up for follow-up.
Okay, well, I want you to know,
Is that
my
on your side? Oh,
email,
it's on the
and Neil Savar, Liz Williams is here. I have business cards, I'll just leave it to you in the middle. You can call me, email me, whatever you
Oh,
want
well,
to
you were
do.
so prepared, Darren. I
Not a problem.
Go ahead
Okay.
go ahead and say them. I'm sorry, I stopped at
Yeah.
questions.
One more page.
And I just wanted to add one more comment, because I know you had brought up testing, or when was the last time you walked the pipes? PG&E will offer that information to any resident that calls in, and I can leave my card as well. You can contact me directly. If you're interested about when the last time you walked the pipeline, when was the last time you tested the pipeline, what is the pipeline made of outside of my home, anything like that, we can get specific information for the pipe closest to your home for you. So we have no problem doing that, and I can leave, like I said, leave my card on the table. You can contact me directly and I can get that information. It takes about 10 days because gas operations pulls all the historical information for us, but I just want to let you guys know that's a service we can do for you.
Well, thank you. And I'd like to throw in a shameless plug.
Liz
Every time
Williams.
there's a power outage, your telephone line tells me exactly when it's coming on, and it's usually on before. And thank you very much. You guys have been great as far as reliable service. Pete?
Can I just make, I found this map on the NTSB thing today, and it is a better image just because you can see it.
Yeah.
Spartan Keys, parts of University, Japantown. If you look at where the route is on here, I think it'd be good to get the hold of these guys and make a presentation to your neighborhood association so you understand a little bit more and could feed some information to them. They've been really cooperative. So I think it'd be smart if you're anywhere near those lines to get to your neighborhood and get involved.
The transmission? Distribution.
Great. Well, thank you again so much for your time. We appreciate it very much. That was
Thank you
very
for
informative.
having
I feel educated. How about you all? And there is parking validation here in the corner if you get into the garage. They just ask that you know.